Hey everybody, welcome. It's another live painting session. Thursday, September 17th. My husband just dropped off my daughter for me at her play group. She is 5 and we are doing the homeschooling thing. We're trying it for the first time this year and I'm super excited about it and I love it. But on Thursday and Friday morning, she gets to go to a play group, which is actually run by her old nursery teacher. It's wonderful. And it gives me a little time to do what I have to do. For all of you moms out there, this year is very uncertain and complicated and harder probably than normal. So just sending out some good vibes to you. I got my watch off. Let's see. Give people a minute to jump on here. Got to get my hair out of the way because my hair gets everywhere. I'm a shedding monster and I don't want that to wind up in the painting. Today I'm going to be working on this series that I started the other day live, and the color palette is inspired by this little set over here, and it has a very earthy feel, which fall time tends to, breed. And just bear with me. I'm going to be setting up while you guys all jump on. So I have my palette from the other day, all ready to go. So let's just review what happened I think it was 2 days ago that I worked on this, or 3 days ago. So I laid in my darker colors, the burnt umbers and the siennas and my cobalt green, and I started to add some of the lighter greens building up. So some of the greens are warm, but I was treating the greens as the cooler colors, which I tend to lay in first, not always. So today we are going to be adding in the warm colors, the melons, the light orange, and some neutrals, warm and cool. So let's just jump right in, okay? I've never painted live on Sunday morning before, so I don't know how many of you are actually available for this, but it can be watched on replay. Let me find my smock. Okay. Nice filthy smock as it should be, all ready to go. I am going to add, I'm running very low on this. I could mix my own if need be. Let's see. Or I kind of want to use up some paints. I'm converting myself over to all of the higher end paints, but I have some that need to be used up. Oh, there's a little bit of this melon color left. So let's get that all out. Waste not, want not. And okay, we have a Deep Sea Coral by Ceramcoat. Let's try that. It's a little darker than I wanted, so let's go ahead and add some white first. This is a lot darker, but super pretty. Yeah, very beautiful. So let's just start mixing this very slowly. Where's my favorite brush? Oh, here it is. And where's my other favorite brush? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh. I'm just trying to see if it's fairly close to the melon, which it is. You can see that. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna mix it all in together, use up that paint. It's pretty, maybe a little too light. Maybe not. I think I'm gonna stick with this. Let's go put this to the side. And now where do I want to lay this in? Let's see, there we go. Switch brushes to my favorite. Let's get some drippies going on. Just gonna peek out, make sure that's not my car. All right, so I've laid that in on the first one, and I'm gonna switch it over. Keep it moving through the series. And again, switching through. Welcome, Gata Jog. I'm just keeping the energy moving. Laying in some of this melon color, this offshoot of coral. And I'm at a point in my process where I'm still fairly loose. I'm not overthinking it. Just trying to move around the substrate, make sure I get the color distributed. And at this point, these underpaintings, these are going to become underpaintings, right? Like I have no idea how much of this is going to actually show up in the finished process, but it's okay because it's part of the process. My work is process driven. So I'm not worried about the finished piece so much, not right now, anyway, right? All of these underlayers are going to, be an integral part of the finished piece. And they're all necessary, whether they stay in the form that they are. So I'm just spraying this so I get some nice drips going on. I don't always do that, but you know, I was feeling the drips in there. And there's one other piece that add drips to. Let's go ahead so that we have some continuity through the paintings. A common thread. Welcome, Magnolia DIY. So yeah, we want these common threads so that they're related, even though they're not going to look the same. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna come back to this first piece. Okay. Now, I am going to start to create some neutrals here, some darker neutrals. So I'm gonna take what I have, this melon color that I mixed, and I am going to grab my cobalt, right, because it's already on the page. So I'm gonna create neutrals out of the colors that are already existing, and that will give me some color harmony. Right, so a little bit of cobalt, just a little bit at a time. And I'm gonna mix them up in this section right here. And you'll see like a very grayish color. However, it looks similar to what's already on the page. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some white to this mixture, or this to white, whatever works. Let's see. When you don't have a rag, just use your smock. Okay, so that's a really beautiful gray that I just created. Neutral color. I'm gonna add some white. And let's see what we get. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So it kind of has like a beige feel to it. But neutrals are, you know, basically colors mixed together. And so why not use the colors that are already present, and then they can relate to each other better. Okay, so I'm going to start filling this in. With some neutrals. Homemade neutrals. I want to get back in the direction of that original line work. I kind of lost sight of that here when I laid this big mass down. So I find that I love color, but I also like a lot of neutral space in my paintings. And we're still at the messy stages, right? We're still in the muck, in the messy stages of the painting. I don't quite know where it's going. And that's okay, because somehow I know if I just keep following my desires, my impulses, that something will start to appear and it'll start to make sense. Welcome, Anna. Yeah. Okay. I'm also turning these different ways as I put them up, right? Getting a new perspective. You don't always see the obvious if you're looking at it the same way the whole time. You might not see another pathway. That's a good skill for life. You remember in my yoga teacher days, like a lot of teachers would use inversions, the metaphor of looking at things from a different perspective, inverting, doing that. The need, and using that to emphasize the need of looking at things from a new perspective. This one I'm really feeling. So you start to have your favorites along the way. And that changes. Sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times it does. Getting the drippies going. Oh, now I got drippies going both ways. Interesting, but they're still all vertical. I do know that I am going to orient these vertically unless something shows up really amazing horizontal. So, but my intention is vertical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little more white to this neutral because I have a little bit left of it. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it in each of the painting, and then we're going to mix up another neutral. Here we go. We got a lighter version of that. Let's see. Oh, sorry guys. Some of this melon color mixed in from above, which is totally cool, totally fine. So it looks a bit warmer. Go add dabs of that, what's left over. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch. Since I've made room for this horizontal landscape orientation, I'm gonna work on the other ones like that this time around as well. And if you're wondering why I make any decision, please feel free to answer your question in the question box. I want to break up this mast right here. So let's go ahead and mix up a new neutral, which I might even add, since I have leftovers, I might even add some of that, but to get it, I'm going to put away this cobalt. And did I bring over my green gold? Hold on. I thought I did. Where are you, green gold? Where are you? Ah, here you are. Okay, so my golden green gold. And we know that's there in the painting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this melon color and this green gold. I'm going to mix it. I'm going to add the other neutral, whatever's left. Mix it up all together. So it's got some white in there, leftover white. Super pretty earthy color. Let's go. Let's see what happens. It's almost like an ochre mustardy. Oh, I like that. I like what's happening there. I'm gonna put some on top of this green gold, see what happens. Welcome, Nicole. Blending it a little bit into this other neutral. Creating even more neutral space that has some variation in it though. keep this one up. Just turn it a little bit. And I know I'm gonna do a lot of work with this Titan Mars Pale, which is kind of like a fleshy color. And I know just the way, my preferences work, I want there to be a lot of lighter, brighter neutral space on here. So I've gotten all my darks and medium tones laid in. I'm gonna add a little of the melon color to this Titan Mars Pale. Just a touch. Maybe even a touch of that warm green neutral I just laid down. And I'm gonna start laying this in. Oh, spray bottle, where are you? There we go. Hey, stay artsy. Okay. Let's go ahead and switch again. And I'm going to need to mix more of that up. So add a little of, I have the Titan Mars Pale out. I'm just going to get a little bit of that melon on my brush, mix it in, and even a little bit of this. And I kind of like the way that's mixing. So that might be a color over there that I add as well. Let's get back. go ahead and mix that other color up that was showing up. Very interesting. See if it has a place. You'll notice if I put it right on there, it has more of a yellow hue to it. I'm just going to start to lay in some bigger blocks of color. So I'm starting to work towards calming it. And I will be bringing a lot more of that white back in. Nice. So this is already sort of straying a bit away from this color palette, and that's okay. Like, I'm not looking for anything to be exact. It's just sometimes we can look at our previous works for inspiration. And this was one of those occasions, and it's not like it will stay the same, because it's sort of like, you know, the game of telephone, right? Every time you pass it down, it changes a little bit. taking that up. I didn't like the way it looks as a whole. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go back to this Titan Mars pal, but I'm going to get a lot of white and I'm gonna mix it to obtain a off-white. Oh, let's see. Hey Cheryl. Let's see. What do we have going on over here? So just mixing that into a lot of white. Remember, my ultimate goal is to have like a predominantly light, white, neutral with pops of color. And let's say that since I want it to relate, I'm gonna add just a little bit more the melon and of this neutrally color I mixed up. Warm green neutral. Okay. There we go. Hi, Miss Hand. Okay. So I think we go start putting a lot of this in. I'm probably should get a bigger brush, but you know, you just have your favorites. It's hard to put them down. So I'm like, I was working outward and now I'm gonna work back inward. forgive me if Instagram just like cuts us off. That happens at an hour. And I sometimes lose track of time, so I think we're getting close to that. So hopefully I realize when we're super close and I can say my goodbyes. I'm like running out of this color and I don't want to mix more because I'm going to stop soon. Okay. I think that's about where I'll stop today. Because Instagram will be cutting me off, I don't know, probably within 5 minutes. So we'll leave it there. I'm pretty happy with the turn that this is taking. I'm gonna continue to work in different variations of white, including bright white itself. And then from there, I'll go back to the original colors and start to bring them forward again, where they've been lost or where they need to be deepened or brightened. And I'll keep you posted on the progress. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Oh, and also make sure to sign up on my newsletter. The link is in my bio. If you just want to stay current with my work, behind the scenes stuff, exclusive discounts, and release dates. All right, so the link for that is right in my bio. Thanks.